Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve.
Yeah.
The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you the Kraft Music Hall every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, a little drama staged in almost anyone's kitchen on baking day. Young boy enters, rosy-cheeked, hungry as a bear cub. Takes one whiff and lets out a whoop. Boy, oh boy, fresh baked bread. Pesters mother until she slices through the crusty brown loaf. Hungry, happy boy shouts, now for some of that swell parquet margarine. You can leave it to Johnny. He knows what it takes to make fresh bread taste extra good. Yes, it's the flavor goodness of parquet that makes bread so downright satisfying to eat. For this quality margarine made by Kraft is truly delicious. Parquet is also one of the best energy foods a growing youngster or hard-working man can eat. And what's more, every pound contains 9,000 units of nutritious vitamin A. All the more reason you should serve Parquet as the regular spread for bread in your home. Tomorrow, then, buy Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now for the Great Gildersleeve. Like every other town in the country, Summerfield is in the midst of a war bond drive. And wherever big things are doing, there you find Gildersleeve doing things in a big way. He's not only in charge of the door-to-door canvassing being carried on by the air raid wardens in his neighborhood, but he's a member of the committee planning Summerfield's 4th War Loan Rally. Consequently, he's a very busy man, and he doesn't hesitate to let people know it.
Bertie?
Yes, sir?
How soon?
It's almost ready, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll put it on the table just the minute Miss Marjorie gets here.
It's 6:45. My meeting's at 8. We won't wait for her, Bertie. Go ahead and serve supper as soon as it's ready.
Yes, sir.
Confound it. Where is Marjorie anyway?
Down at the parish house.
Leroy, get up off the floor.
Okay.
You want to read in a decent light.
Okay.
Where did you say your sister was?
Down at the parish house. They're putting on a show or something.
Who is?
I don't know, some gang of nuts. Want to see a picture of a P-61, Unc?
Not particularly. What's the show?
There you are, a P-61.
So it is. Now, what's
I
this...
bet you think it's a P-38 just because it's got 2 tails.
So it has. What's the show being put on for?
What show?
The show Marjorie's in.
Oh, I don't even know if she's in it. She just went down to try out.
Well, who's doing it? What's it being put on for?
No reason, just a bunch of nuts like Marge.
Leroy, I think you might be more respectful of your sister. She's found something that interests her. I'm glad to hear it. Probably do her good.
Could be. Hey, here she is now.
Well, my dear.
Hello.
Well. Aren't you going to take off your coat and stay a while?
Oh, yes. What's eating her?
Never mind. We were about to start supper without you, my dear. I have a meeting. War Bond Committee.
Oh, I couldn't eat any supper, thanks.
No supper? Are you sick?
No, I just don't want any. She's in love. Wally proposed to her. I haven't even seen Wally. I don't care if I never see him.
But you have to eat, my dear. You have to eat to live.
Not right now, Uncle Mort. I'm too excited, I guess.
Well, tell us all about it. How'd it go? I hear you're going to be in a play.
Oh, Uncle Mort, he said I had the feeling. He said I had something.
Who said this?
Bruce Fairfield.
Well, the Sam Hill is Bruce Fairfield.
Oh, you wouldn't know. He's too important.
Must be too important for me, too. I never heard of him.
He's our director. He's done a lot of Broadway plays and so on. He's from New York.
Tell me, my dear, what kind of a show are you putting on?
It's not a show. It's a play.
Excuse me, a play. What is it?
Well, we haven't decided yet. Well, we've got a name for our organization. We're calling it the Little Theater in the Dell.
Where are you going to get a Dell?
Be quiet, Leroy.
This was our first real meeting today. Mr. Fairfield had me read a part for him, and Uncle Morty's wonderful. He said he really thinks I have something.
Maybe it's mumps.
Leroy.
And that wasn't all he said. He said I reminded him a little of Katharine Hepburn.
That red mop, are you kidding?
It might just possibly interest you to know that Katharine Hepburn has red hair, too. Anyway, he didn't say I looked like Katharine Hepburn. He said I reminded him of her. He ought to know he's worked with all the famous stars.
Evening, Miss Marjorie.
Marjorie.
Oh, good evening, Betty.
Well, what have we got here, Bertie?
Some of that meatloaf you like.
Oh, brother.
Oh, none for me, thank you, Bertie.
No meatloaf?
No, I I couldn't just now.
She says she's not hungry, Bertie.
Oh, but my land, the child's got to eat. Can't I get you something?
Well, you wouldn't have an artichoke, I suppose.
Artichoke? Who eats artichokes? You know we ain't got no artichokes.
I won't have anything then.
I never heard of such a thing. Leroy, you ain't going back on the meatloaf, too.
Not me. I could eat a horse.
Well, we ain't come to that yet. Artichoke. I just soon eat a porcupine. Artichokes is for rich folk.
You know who I bet eats artichokes? This Bruce Fairfield.
Leroy, you've never even met him.
Oh, dearie me, I can't eat a thing this evening. I think I'll just toy with an artichoke. Oh, Humpty,
Listen.
No, Marjorie. Leroy, eat your meatloaf.
Yes, eat. Go on, stuff yourself. Shovel it in. That's all anybody thinks about in this house, eating. Nobody has any time for the finer things.
I'm sure I don't know what's come over that girl. She ain't herself this evening.
You bet she ain't. She's Katharine Hepburn. How beloved. Oh, my darling. Kiss me, beloved, ere I so wound.
Eat your meatloaf, Leroy, ere I swat. Well, good morning, Marjorie. Feeling better this morning?
I feel all right, thank you.
Woo! Look at the new hairdo. So that's what you've been doing upstairs for the last 2 hours.
It took me about 10 minutes, and it's none of your business.
Oh, pardon me, Miss Hepburn.
Oh, be quiet, little boy.
Marjorie, I want to have a family conference, if you don't mind.
Oh, just as soon as I make this call.
Well, hurry it up.
What's the conference about, Unc?
You'll find out in just a minute. Bertie better be in on this, too. Oh, Bertie!
Hello, Sally. I won't be able to come to your house this afternoon. I'm sorry.
You call me, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie?
Can I please have it quiet for a minute?
Oh.
I'm sorry, Sally, but I just can't come, that's all. Oh, because I have to be at the theater.
Oh, what a boa.
Leroy, you be quiet. Let's get this phone call over with.
Well, it isn't exactly a rehearsal, Sally. We're just going to have a reading. Well, it isn't exactly a reading because we haven't chosen a play yet. I'm sorry, Sally. I said I was sorry, didn't I? Well, I just happen to think your little party isn't as important as my career, that's all. Bye.
Career now. Sit down now. I want to get everything planned for our guest.
Guest?
Guest?
Yes. In connection with the Summerfield Bond Drive, our city will be honored by the presence of an outstanding war hero who will speak at the rally tomorrow night. And we are to have the privilege of entertaining him here in our house.
MacArthur?
MacArthur. No, Leroy. MacArthur's busy killing Japs. The man who's coming here is Colonel White. And he shot down 6 planes in the last war, and he's a squadron leader in this one.
Oh, boy, a flyer. Can he sleep in my room, Unc?
Well, I'm glad to see your hospitable attitude, Leroy, but I think we'll put him in the sewing room.
On that little old army cot?
Well, he'd probably feel uncomfortable sleeping anywhere else, Bertie. Now, what about lunch, huh? Can we have something nice for him?
Well, I'll do my best, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know much about high-altitude cooking.
Well, you just cook for this man as if he'd never been off the ground, Bertie. He'll love it. Now, Marjorie, I was thinking if you could sort of show the Colonel around this afternoon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Mort. My rehearsal.
Yes, now listen, my dear. I think your interest in the drama is a very fine thing. I don't want to discourage it, but there's a war on. We all have to make some sacrifices in wartime, you know.
Oh, we do? What sacrifice are you making?
Me? Why,
You won't even let this hero have your bed because you don't like to sleep in the sewing room.
Marjorie, that's not true. He can have my bed if he wants it. By George, he'll have it whether he wants it or not. Bertie, will you make up my bed for the Colonel?
Yes, sir. 2 clean sheets?
For the Colonel, yes, 2. And then if you can fix the cot in the sewing room for me.
Yes, sir.
I'll show you how to make sacrifices in wartime. And you, young lady, you can be here for lunch anyway. And I want you to be just as nice as you know how.
How is the Colonel coming here, Unc? In a bomber?
No, Leroy, in a train.
Oh, I thought maybe he could take me up for a little ride.
He's coming on the 12:15, so he ought to be here any minute.
He might have changed his plan so he had to fly after all. Maybe he came in a P-61 and he could give me a ride in that. Maybe he'd let me shoot the machine guns a few times.
Stop talking, Leroy. Nothing is coming out.
Oh, well. Hey, there's the judge's car.
Oh? He's got the Colonel with him.
I'll let the
I'll let him in. Leroy?
Okay. The judge going to stay for lunch?
No, whether he knows it or not. Well, Colonel White, I presume?
That's me.
I was just going to introduce you, Throckmorton. Colonel White, I take pleasure in presenting my good friend, Throckmorton Gildersleeve.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
It's an honor to meet you, Colonel. Welcome to Summerfield, and come in.
Thank you.
Let me have your coat.
I'll take it, Unc. Hi, Judge.
Hello, Leroy.
Oh, Colonel, this is my nephew, Leroy. Colonel White, Leroy?
How are you, son?
Fine. Have you flown a P-61 yet?
Well, not yet, but I hope to soon.
Oh, have you flown a B-26?
Yes, I've flown that.
Boy's just crazy about airplane colonels.
So I see.
Hey, come in the living room, will you, Colonel? I want to show you something.
Leroy, stop yanking the colonel around.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't believe he can hurt me.
He's a fine man, Throckmorton. Finest type of American soldier.
Oh, seems to be, yes.
Tell me one thing, old man. Do I smell lamb chops?
Confounded hooker, you can't stay to lunch.
Well, I brought the colonel.
I don't care. There are only 7 lamb chops. If you stay, the colonel and I can't have seconds.
All I know is the colonel expects me to stay and talk about the details of his speech. After all, you'll have to give up your second lamb chop, Gildy.
This is a dirty trick, you old goat.
Now, we all have to make sacrifices in wartime, you know.
Yeah, but by George, I'm making more than my share.
And then he comes tearing down out of the sun and gives him the old...
Leroy?
Your nephew's found out things about air combat that I never knew, Mr. Gildersleeve. I guess I ought to see more movies.
You want to see Destination Tokyo this afternoon? It's at the Bijou.
Now, Leroy, the colonel's going to be busy this afternoon. Oh, that reminds me. Go tell Bertie, Leroy, I've persuaded Judge Hooker to stay to lunch.
Gosh, how'd you do that?
Leroy, take the message to Bertie.
Okay.
And tell her we can have lunch as soon as Marjorie comes down.
Okay. Hey, Marge, hurry up! Lunch!
I want you to meet my niece, Marjorie, Colonel. I think she's a mighty nice girl.
You bet your life she is. Pretty, too. Well, here she comes, Colonel. You can see for yourself.
Well, she sure is.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon, Marjorie. Colonel White, this is...
She's my niece, Judge. Marjorie, I take pleasure in presenting Colonel White.
How do you do?
How do you do, Colonel?
Say, am I crazy? No, I'm not. There's something about you that suggests Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, do you really think so?
Oh, for corn's sake. Come on, Colonel, chow.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. Serving families the most nutritious foods without being extravagant is a challenge we all face today. Sometimes, too, there's as much difference as an extra war-saving stamp or two in some of the same kinds of food, as, for instance, spreads for bread. And that's good reason why you should be acquainted now with economical Parquet margarine. Sure, you know, Parquet, the one that's made by Kraft. The margarine that tastes so good when it's spread on bread, on muffins or pancakes or waffles. Yes, Parquet margarine can be a big help in keeping appetites up and your food budget down. At the same time, Parquet helps provide important food elements your family needs for good daily nutrition. You see, Parquet is actually one of the best energy foods you can serve. And to every pound of this nutritious spread for America's bread, Kraft adds 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So for good nutrition, delicious flavor, and for economy's sake, too, buy and serve Parquet. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now let's return to the great Gildersleeve. Colonel White has been his guest overnight and has made a big hit with everybody, although no one but Leroy has been able to get in a word. After breakfast the following morning, Leroy is still at it.
How big a crew does it carry? Has it got a bull turret? What's its ceiling? Did you ever fly on one? Oh, Leroy.
One question at a time, young man.
Don't you think the Colonel ever wants to talk about anything but the war?
Why should he? Hey, tell me, Colonel.
Now, Leroy, that'll be enough.
I don't mind.
Colonel White has been very patient, Leroy, but you have no business monopolizing him. Besides, it's time you were getting along to school.
Can I ask him just one more question, Unc? Just one?
Well, if the Colonel can stand it. Ever had the 3rd degree before, Colonel?
Go ahead, son. What's the question?
Do you know any military secrets?
Why? Have you got a market for them?
No, No kidding, do you?
Leroy, Uncle Mort, really?
Now, my boy.
Just one secret, Colonel. Just a little one. Anything at all. Anything the other kids don't know.
Well, I don't know anything that would be much use to the enemy, but if you'll come over here, I'll whisper one in your ear.
Yeah? What?
Radar.
Oh, who doesn't know that?
All right, Leroy, off to school.
Okay. So long, Colonel. See you later.
Well, shall we go in the other room? I know you got things to do today, Colonel. And if you'll excuse me, I got a little furnace work to do down in the cellar before I leave. Ash Day.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, used to have a man to do this, Colonel, but you know, with a manpower shortage.
Yes, indeed.
Good night. So long. Goodbye, Leroy.
Well, I guess I'll run up to my room for a minute.
Oh, Colonel White.
Yes?
I've been wanting to speak to you, alone.
Well, don't tell me you're after a military secret, too.
Must you joke?
I beg pardon?
You don't need to pretend with me.
Am I pretending?
I know what you must be thinking. I want to apologize for my brother and my uncle.
Apologize?
You see, Summerfield is a small town, and we're small-town people. I guess there isn't anything we can do about that. But we don't have to be satisfied with it.
I think Summerfield is a swell town from what I've seen of it.
Oh, you don't have to be polite with me, Colonel. I understand.
I wish I did.
You're from New York, aren't you? It must be wonderful to live in New York. I suppose you go to a new play every night.
Oh, hardly that.
But you do love the theater, don't you?
Well, I like a good show, yes.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet someone who really understands. I knew the first moment I saw you. You're not like my uncle and all these people around here leading their little lives. You've lived. They just exist.
I don't know that I follow you.
People are so tragic, aren't they? Listen to him down there shaking the furnace. Poor Uncle Mort. What is he to look forward to? Well, I'm not going to get stuck here in Summerfield.
I don't know what you have in mind, but I wouldn't rush into anything. You're an attractive girl. You have a nice home here.
Where would the world be if we were satisfied with that? Where would Catherine Hepburn be today if she had stayed in Hartford all her life?
Hartford, I suppose.
Exactly. Oh, here comes my uncle. Oh, I don't know how to say it, but you brought me a glimpse of a new world.
Well, you two still standing here? Shall we be getting along downtown, Colonel?
I'll be right with you. I've just got to run up to my room.
Well, my dear, what have you two been in such deep conversation about?
Something you wouldn't even understand.
Oh, pardon me.
I wonder if you would be very surprised to know that I've met the man whom I shall one day marry.
Marjorie, stop your nonsense. Remind me to order some more coal, will you? Because we only got enough coal to let... What did you say?
Heck, Unc, I'm disappointed in Colonel White.
Disappointed, Leroy? Why?
I thought he was a man's man, and here he's been off with Marge all afternoon.
Yes. I wonder where she could have taken him, confound it.
It's your fault. You sicked her onto him.
You don't suppose she would take him to that place called Brownie's Beanery, do you?
Brownie's Beanery. Yeah, she might. That's all there is in the afternoon.
You
want me to call up?
No. He'll be here for supper, all right. He knows he's got to speak at the rally in a couple of hours. See who that is, will you, Leroy?
Sure. Maybe it's Marge and she forgot her key. Mr. Peavy! Hey, Unc, it's Mr. Peavy.
Hello, Leroy.
Hello, Peavy.
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve. I just dropped in to make my bond report.
Oh, yes. Take off your coat and make yourself at home.
Thank you. It won't take me very long to report. There are only 16 houses in my block.
Judge Hooker sold $2,000 worth, and there's only 4 houses in his block.
Never mind, Leroy. Those are pretty big houses.
What difference does that make?
Young man, I'm not in the mood to discuss economics with you right now. Go somewhere and play with your toys.
Toys? He thinks I still have toys.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm afraid I didn't do as well as the judge.
No?
No. $2,000. My.
The trouble with you is you don't push hard enough, Peavy. You're not aggressive enough.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's the truth just the same. You have to make an emotional, dramatic appeal.
Me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, you ought to try. How did you make out?
Well, here are the applications and the money. I sold $600 worth altogether.
Well, that's very good, Peavy. Not bad at all.
Well, it's not much money in the drive for $14 billion, but I'm kind of proud of one thing.
Oh? What's that?
I sold a bond in every house on my street.
Why, Peavy, that's wonderful. You're the best salesman in Summerfield.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You see, every house on my street has a boy in service, and they want him to come back home, that's all.
Well, you did a fine job anyhow, Peavy.
Yeah, I think I'd better be going, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, wait a minute. Peavy, what do you do when a young girl falls in love with an older man?
Well, that's a hard question for me to answer. It never happened to me.
No, I suppose not.
At least it hasn't yet.
Now, this is serious, Peavy. That is, it could be. Marjorie may be falling for a man 25 years older than herself. What can I do about it?
Well, why don't you explain to Margie that when she's 35, the man will be 60. And when she's 45, he'll be 70. And when she's 60, he'll be 85.
Yeah, and when she's 90, he'll be 115.
Well, that's right. It gets worse as you get older.
Why, that's silly. If a girl wants a man now, what does she care about 10 years from now? I guess I'll... Oh, there they are now. The Colonel's here, Bertie.
Well, I had a wonderful time, Colonel.
So did I. You made me feel younger than I have in years.
Oh, my goodness, I'm going to have to do something about this.
Come in?
Is it all right?
Sure, come in. I'm just packing my bag. I'll have to leave right after the rally, so I'd better do it now.
Oh, can I help?
No, thanks. Won't take me a minute. We travel light in the Army.
Well, we're expecting great things from this rally, Colonel.
To tell you the truth, I'd rather face the Japs than an audience. But I'll be doing the same thing tomorrow in Little Falls.
We're going to be sorry to have you leave, Colonel.
Well, I'm sorry to have to. You've treated me like $1 million here, all of you. I think you have a very nice family.
Well, thank you. I wanted to speak to you about Marjorie.
She seems very much interested in the stage.
Yes, we've had to put up with that. She seems to have taken quite a fancy to you, too.
Well, you know.
I hope she hasn't been making a fool of herself. I know she has.
Well, young girl sees a uniform, you know. And then she seems to have me mixed up with New York in her mind. And she seems to have New York mixed up with Mecca. There we are. That didn't take long, did it?
Colonel, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor before you go.
Glad to. What is it?
I want you to go down in the living room and have a talk with Marjorie.
Well, I told you I'm not much of a speech maker.
Oh, you can do it. You're the only one who can. If you don't straighten her out before you leave, I'll have the devil's own time with her after you're gone. I know that girl.
Well, I'll be glad to try.
Great. Come on. She's down there now waiting to say goodbye.
All right.
Now, Colonel, all you have to do is give her a little fatherly advice. You know, point out that you're older than she is and so on.
Well, this is a little out of my line.
Yeah. I'll just wait outside here. You go ahead. She's in there. I'll be listening.
Well.
Colonel, you're going.
Yes, my plane leaves right after the rally.
Oh, it must be wonderful to fly, to feel the cool, clean, fresh wind in your face, to leave the earth behind with all its stupidity. Oh, I wish I could fly with you.
Yes, I wanted to speak to you about that.
Oh, don't speak. Let us just have this moment together. This last small moment.
Well, if you don't mind.
Please.
Now, listen, my dear.
Don't call me my dear. You sound like my uncle.
Well, I'm old enough to be your uncle. Has that ever occurred to you?
Oh, you're going to treat me like a child now. What difference do our ages make? What is time? What is anything?
You make it a little difficult to argue.
What are arguments? Words. Let's be honest with each other, shall we?
I'm for that.
Let's have the courage to be frank. Let's call a spade a spade.
All right. You start.
Well, let's face it. You're a man. I'm a woman.
I go along with you so far.
You once had the kindness to say that you found me attractive. Well, I find you attractive.
Well, that's fine, but Marjorie, you've got to realize...
Oh, nothing you can say will change it. That's just the way it is, that's all. That's life, I guess. You go away now and I won't see you. You'll be off to the war where your duty lies. I won't try to hold you, but promise me one thing.
What's that?
When it's all over and you come back to the city you've loved so much, if I come to New York, may I look you up?
Why, sure. I'd be glad to see you anytime.
That's all. That's all I ask.
But, Marjorie, you don't realize if you just listen...
Don't you see? Nothing you could ever say or do would change it because I ask so little.
Marjorie.
Yes.
I have a confession to make.
Yes.
I'm mad about you. Wild about you.
Oh, please.
All last night I lay awake dreaming of the moment when I would crush you in my arms.
Oh, no,
And
please.
now, come away with me, Marjorie, now, tonight, this minute.
Colonel, let go.
You will, you must. I have a wife and 7 children, but never mind them. Fly with me in my flying machine.
No, no, no!
Thanks, Colonel. Then 6 is 16, and 8 is 24, 3 is 27.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you got a minute?
6 is 33. Just a second, Bertie.
Excuse me.
33 and 8 is 41, 44. Gee, is that all? Sorry, Bertie. I'm just adding up the amount of war bonds we've sold in this neighborhood. It's not too good.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, you can add this.
Huh? Why, Bertie!
$18.75. I never thought I'd make it, but it's all there.
Why, that'll buy a $25 bond. Oh, that's great, Bertie.
Oh, shucks, it ought to be 100. I know that. But I figure if I can buy one of these every month, of course, I know they can't hold up the invasion for me. But give me time, I'll get there.
Well, I only wish more people figured that way, Bertie.
I was thinking, Mr. Gildersleeve, you got into them slips of paper where it says, sell me a bond?
Oh, you mean application forms? Oh, sure. But what's the idea, Bertie?
Well, sir, I got a meeting down at the lodge tonight, and there ain't no reason for it except a lot of folks want to sit around and talk. Just a little old unfinished business, that's all. And I figured I'd hand around some of them applications.
Well, you're welcome to all you want, Bertie, but do you think you can sell any? After all, that's it.
You just watch me. I'm going to say to them folks, now you listen to me. You folks sitting around here gabbing. We got a war going on. We got a lot of unfinished business, and we ain't doing anything about it to finish it. I'm going to say to them, there's a plenty of you folks making more money than you ever made before in your lives. And what you doing with it? Throwing it around. And in these days, that's a sin. Anybody who spends his money for anything but the food he needs to eat and the clothes he needs on his back, that's a sin. And he's a fool besides. 'Cause things just ain't got the stuff in them these days. You go buy yourself a fancy new patent leather handbag, and what happens? Right away the handle comes off, 'cause they ain't got the stuff.
Yes.
The stuff is going to the soldiers where it belongs. So get some sense and put your money where it belongs and where it's going to do somebody some good. Put it into war bonds. That's what I'll tell them. And they'll do it. They're good people. They want to fight this war just as hard as anybody else. But they get a little careless sometimes, that's all.
Don't we all? Well, here you are, Bertie. Here are the applications. Go get them.
I will. Good night, Miss Gildersleeve.
Good night, Bertie. God bless you. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweet. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to tune in again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents the great Gildersleeve. also bring you the Kraft Music Hall every Thursday night. Present Hal Perry as the Great Gildersleeve, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. Let's for a minute look in on a typical American family at breakfast time. Johnny rubs his sleepy eyes. Dad's kind of grumpy, thinking of that hard day's work ahead. But Mom knows how to make their eyes pop open. She's whipping up a batter for pancakes, and soon we'll flip them piping hot off the griddle. She knows, too, what it takes to make those golden brown griddle cakes taste extra good. It's parquet margarine. And, of course, if you need syrup or honey, too. But with parquet margarine for a spread, those pancakes are sure to hit the spot. Yes, this Kraft quality margarine really satisfies. As for energy, well, parquet margarine is one of the best energy foods you can eat at every meal. What's more, every pound of parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So to start your day with a bang and end it with a smile, eat plenty of delicious, nourishing parquet. Tomorrow, buy Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Let's join the Great Gildersleeve and see what's going on in his busy little household. Leroy, it seems, is indisposed. Nothing serious, you understand. It came over him rather suddenly yesterday morning just before school when he glanced out of the window and saw a few snowflakes fluttering down.
Oh, boy, snow.
Well, I'm off, Leroy. You feed the puppy?
Yeah. Say, Unc, I don't know if I ought to go to school today. I've got a kind of a funny feeling.
Oh, what kind of feeling? Does your head ache?
Yeah. Well, not my head exactly.
Oh, your stomach?
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly my stomach. It's sort of all over, sort of.
Oh. Well, in that case, you better stay home, Leroy. Bertie, keep an eye on the boy, will you? I've got to go down to the office.
I'll do that, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, call Dr. Pettibone if he shows any symptoms.
Oh, she won't need to do that. I think if I just take it easy. Oh, boy, now it's really beginning to snow.
Well, it snowed all day and it snowed all night. Now it's Saturday morning, and for the first time, Leroy realizes that he's made a tactical error.
Oh, can't I go out, please?
No, my boy. If you weren't well enough to go to school yesterday, you're certainly not well enough to go out in the snow today.
But I told you, Unc, I feel fine now. Honest, I feel fine.
Remarkable recovery. One of the most remarkable in the annals of medicine. But we're taking no chances, my boy. You'll stay in the house today.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, a little bit of snow ain't going to...
No, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Gosh.
Never you mind, Leroy. I'm making some applesauce this morning.
Thanks, Bertie. Gosh, look at all the fellas out there having some fun in the snow. Sure looks like fun, all right. Yep, I bet they're certainly having fun.
Stop licking the window pane, Leroy.
I'm not licking it.
Well, stop rubbing your nose on it. Bertie just washed those windows.
Gosh, can't even look out the window. Can't even watch the fellas having fun.
Yes.
Yep, sure looks like fun, all right. It sure looks like fun.
Leroy, I'm trying to read the newspaper. For heaven's sake, go and do something.
What? What is that to do, Unc?
Anything. Go play with your puppy.
I played with him.
Well, play with him some more.
He doesn't want to. All he wants to do is go out and play in the snow, like other dogs. The poor little pooch.
Well, let him.
Oh, he didn't go without me. He's a one-man dog.
Mr. Gildersleeve, we're going to have to do something about shoveling away that snow. When I came to look for the milk bottles this morning, they're buried clean out of sight.
Yes, I'll have to do something about that. Remind me, will you, Bertie?
Keeps on snowing like this, we're going to be snowed in.
If it snows all weekend, maybe I won't be able to get to school even. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Well, here comes Sleeping Beauty.
Good morning, one and all. Uncle darling, brother dear.
Bertie, her ladyship is down.
Now, Leroy.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Has anyone looked out the window? It's as if the whole world were blanketed in snow.
It is.
And right outside the window, there's a most gorgeous icicle. It hangs there poised like some great crystal dagger.
Looks more like a frozen carrot.
Oh, I love winter with its ice and snow and the wind whistling in the east. Woo-hoo!
Marjorie, if I could trouble you to come down to earth for a moment.
Yes?
I'm not going to ask what time you came in last night. I know. But I would like to ask.
Oh, now, Unky, darling, you're not going to be cross.
Confound it, I am cross. Leroy goes to school when he pleases. You come down to breakfast when you please. Is that any way to run a household? How do you expect Bertie to do her work?
Oh, I don't care, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, you should care, Bertie. You should care.
Yes, sir, I'll care.
Now, Uncle Lloyd, don't you get so excited. I was late last night because we had a reading of our play, and we stopped to talk about it afterwards.
Play?
And I slept late because we're having a rehearsal this morning, and I'd like to be at my bed. Hey, there goes Mrs. Ransom.
Well, what of it?
Nothing, just there she goes. You haven't been seeing much of her lately, have you, Uncle Mort?
I've been busy. And don't try to change the subject. We have breakfast in this
Don't
house.
you try to change the subject. What happened between you and Mrs. Ransom? For that matter, what happened between you and Miss Goodwin? She passed you up, too?
I told you I've been busy. And don't be impertinent.
I'm not being impertinent, Uncle Mort. I'm worried about you.
Well, I'm glad somebody thinks about me.
You've been so cross lately and so touchy. What's the matter, Uncle Mort? You can tell me.
Nothing. You think I'm getting old, my dear?
Old? I never think of you as any age. You just... My Uncle Mort.
Well, doggone it, when a man has two ladies walk out on him in one evening, he begins to think he must be slipping or something.
You mean Mrs. Ransom and Miss Goodwin? They did that to you?
I'm not mentioning any names, but neither of them has spoken to me since. Not since that night Miss Goodwin came to dinner.
Well, then you must have done something to offend them.
Not a thing. So help me, not one thing.
Well, whatever it was, I don't think the thing to do about it is go off in a corner and sulk.
I'm not sulking. I just, well, what should I do?
Well, make some little gesture in their direction.
Oh?
You know the kind of thing women like. Some little attention, some thoughtful little gesture.
Oh. Thoughtful little gesture.
Well, I've got to be getting to rehearsal. You don't happen to be driving down to the office, I suppose?
No, I'm not going to the office today. I thought I'd make this Saturday an exception.
An exception, he says.
I have to stay home and shovel off the sidewalk. And you, young man.
Looks like you better get started, Mr. Gildersleeve. I opened the back door just now, and a whole snowdrift fell in the kitchen.
Yeah, we'll have to do something about that. Remind me, will you, Bertie?
I'm reminding you.
Oh.
What a character.
Leroy, come here, my boy.
What do you want?
Leroy, I feel that I've punished you enough. I'm going to let you go outdoors.
What's the hitch?
Out in the corner of the garage, you will find the snow shovel.
I knew it.
Yeah. Now, let me see. Some thoughtful little gesture. Ooh.
I'll go, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thank you, Bertie.
Good afternoon, Bertie. Mr. Gildersleeve at home?
Oh, yes, he is, Judge. He'd be glad to see you. He's been sitting here all day long just twiddling his thumbs.
Well, hello, Gildy. The idea of sitting around the house on a beautiful day like this. Finest fall of snow we've had in years.
I haven't just been sitting around, Judge. Some of us have work to do.
Yeah, and some of us go down to our offices and do it. You haven't even shoveled the snow off your walk.
No, but Leroy has.
That's what you think.
What? You mean to say that... Darn that kid.
Oh, now, don't be hard on him, Throckmorton. This is no day for a kid to be working. Kids have to take advantage of a snow like this. So should we.
What are you talking about?
I got a great idea, Gildy. Let's organize a sleigh ride party.
You must be getting into your second childhood, Hooker.
Now, listen, there's nothing childish about a sleigh ride, Gildy. Not if it's organized right. Get a sleigh somewhere, and a horse, some straw to sit on.
Straw? Gee, I can feel myself itching already.
Now, wait a minute. Just imagine the sleigh gliding along in the moonlight, bells jingling on the horse, and you and me sitting there snug in the back with a couple of nice girls.
Yeah. Well, I see what you mean, Horace.
Yeah, I thought you'd see the light.
Yes. Say, Horace, you may have a very good idea there. And I think I know where I can get a couple of girls.
Well, I was hoping you would, Gildy. Anybody I know?
Eve and Leela. As a matter of fact, I've been meaning to do something for them. Yes. A sleigh ride party would be a very thoughtful little gesture.
They'd love it.
If I ask them, they will. But where the dickens can we find a sleigh? I haven't seen one around here in years.
No, don't worry about that. You know Floyd Munson's brother, Otis?
Sure.
Well, he's got an old sleigh out of his place. I'm sure Floyd could fix it for us.
Would that mean we'd have to take Floyd along?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Floyd's not a bad fellow, of course, and pretty good barber. But the girls might think he was, well, you know.
Maybe if we talked to him, we could tell him to watch his step a little, mind his P's and Q's.
If he tried to act high-toned, he'd be even worse.
Well, he'd get to feeling comfortable pretty soon.
Yeah, then we'd have to watch out. If he ever got started on one of his barbershop stories, oh, brother.
Say, here's an idea, Gildy. What if we just ask to borrow the sleigh and don't tell Floyd what we want it for?
I'm afraid you don't know Floyd. Most barbers are inquisitive, but Floyd is downright snoopy.
Yeah, I guess he'd have to know all about it. Still, that's the only sleigh around here that I know of. What are we going to do?
We could just go to Floyd's brother and rent the sleigh.
Oh, that'd cost money. I'll tell you what we can do. We can get up a whole gang to go along. Then Floyd won't be so noticeable. Get Peavy and the Pettibone.
We don't want too many.
No, just enough to drown out Floyd.
That's a big order, Horace. But let's try it that way.
Okay, I'll go and see Floyd right away, but the important thing is to get Eve and Leela.
Don't worry about them, Judge. You deliver the sleigh, and Gildersleeve will deliver the ladies.
Well, how about it, Floyd?
Won't be any trouble at all, boys. Otis don't use the horse at night, and I know he'd just as soon leave us have her.
Her?
She's a mare.
Uh-oh.
Answers to the name of Nellie. Well, I won't say she answers to it. She's a little hard of hearing.
Now, Floyd, we don't want a broken-down old nag pulling us around.
Nellie's all right. She's getting old, but she's still got her own teeth.
If she can do farm work, I guess she can pull around the sleigh for a few hours.
Why, sure. And you don't have to worry about the sleigh either. It's big and comfortable. My cousin Earl and I used it one night about 6 years ago. Remember the night the circus got stranded here?
Yeah.
Well, Earl and I got hold of 2 lady bareback riders, and we had a wonderful sleigh ride. You got a girl for me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that, Floyd. I'm bringing some girls, but they're not bareback riders.
Well, we can't all be lucky.
There's nothing the matter with these girls, confound it.
I didn't say there was anything the matter with them, Commissioner. Keep your shirt on.
The thing about these girls is they're kind of high class.
Oh, refined. I get you. Well, I know how to act with nice girls. Glad you tipped me off, though.
Now, look here, Floyd. We're letting you in on a nice little party, and we expect you to behave yourself.
I'll behave, Judge. There's women in my shop almost every day, and I very seldom make a slip.
Yeah, well, we can't afford any slips tonight. I'm giving you a chance to meet some real ladies. I don't want you to ruin it.
How could I ruin it?
By behaving like a crude barbershop cowboy.
Now, Commissioner, I think that's going a little far. After all, I'm getting a sleigh for you, ain't I?
Yes, Floyd.
Then let's be reasonable, huh, Judge? Live and let live.
I think Floyd understands now, Gildy.
Sure I do.
All right. I'll get the girls. We'll go on the sleigh ride. But if you get out of line just once, Floyd, I'll cut my own hair from now on.
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve in just a few seconds. You know, bread is a mighty important food, especially the new enriched bread your grocer's selling now. But after all, to make bread a treat to eat, you need a good-tasting spread to go along with it. And that leads us right to parquet margarine. For this wholesome, nutritious spread really is delicious on bread, toast, and rolls. Parquet's fine flavor is something you'll want to tell your friends about. It's so delicate and appetizing. In fact, parquet is a favorite spread for bread in millions of American homes. And it's such a splendid energy food, too. Nutrition experts agree it's one of the very best you can include in your daily diet. And speaking of good nutrition, just listen to this. Every single pound of parquet margarine is fortified with no less than 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So tomorrow when you're shopping, be sure to ask for delicious, nourishing parquet. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Back to Summerfield and the great Gildersleeve. And along about 8 o'clock, a beautiful moon came up back of the old tack factory. It's a perfect night for a sleigh ride, and that's where we find Gildersleeve and his companions, Floyd the barber and Judge Hooker, bundled up in mufflers, mittens, and earmuffs, and ready for come what may. Gildersleeve and the judge squat on the straw piled in the sleigh while Floyd is up front handling the reins.
Come on, Nellie.
We'll stop at the drugstore first, Floyd, and pick up the girls afterward.
Okay.
Gad, what a beautiful night. Moon and everything. We were sailing along on moonlight.
No, Judge, no.
You can hear the voices singing.
Go on home, beat it. You better stop, Judge. You'll wake up the whole town.
Hey, you're getting Nellie nervous, too.
Well, if you're worried, Floyd, let me take the reins. I've handled high-spirited horses in my time.
Nellie ain't high-spirited. I'm just worried you'll break what spirit she's got. Come on, girls.
How about letting me take over for a while, Floyd?
Not a chance, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm responsible for this rig, and I'm driving her.
Whoa, gal. Whoa, Nellie.
His lights are still on.
Yeah, he's just closing up. Come on, Judge.
Well, good evening.
Get your things on. You're coming with us. We're going sleigh ride.
Sleigh ride?
Yep, right outside there. Come on. Come on, the beautiful moonlight night with a couple of ladies.
Yes, sir. Miss Goodwin and Mrs. Ransom.
Yeah, a couple of peacherinos.
No, I'm afraid I couldn't, gentlemen. I wish I'd known about this earlier.
Yes. Well, nobody knew about it. We just did it on the spur of the moment, Peavy. We're going to go around and surprise everybody. Come on.
No, I'm afraid I couldn't. You see, Mrs. Peavy.
Bring her along.
Sure, glad to have her. Make it all the merrier.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. You see, when I left home this morning, Mrs. Peavy had a sniffle.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes, I left her with instructions to take a glassful of hot lemonade mixed with bicarbonate soda. But if I know her, she didn't take it. And I do, so she didn't.
If you ask me, the best way to treat a cold is to let it alone. And the best you can do for Mrs. Peavy is to let her alone.
Sure. Come on, Peavy. She'll never miss you.
Well, I'd like to, gentlemen. I'd certainly like to, but I couldn't think of leaving Mrs. Peavy at home alone. I really couldn't.
Yeah, if that's the way you feel.
Well, I'll tell you what I will do.
What?
I'll let you gentlemen drive me home, if you will.
Oh, but Peavy, we're not going in that direction. We were going to pick up Miss Goodwin first, then Mrs. Ransom, and then drive out around the reservoir and back.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, if you take me home the long way, I can't help that, can I?
Peavy, you're a very sneaky fellow.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Come on.
Here we go.
The little white cottage there. That's it.
Whoa, Nellie. Whoa.
Just remember, no remarks.
I wasn't brought up in no barn, you know.
Well, all right. Just the same, no remarks. I'll go and get her. Excuse me, Peavy.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Want me to come with you, Gildy?
No, I prefer to handle this alone, if you don't mind, Judge.
Guess we aren't good enough for him, Floyd.
What a night. Eve will love this. Reminder of old times. Those old New England winters. Wished I could shake those old goats. Oh, well.
Yes?
It's me, Eve. I.
Oh, it's Mr. Gildersleeve. I didn't recognize you. Perhaps it's the earmuffs.
Yes, and the red nose. Cold. Say, Eve, how'd you like to go for a sleigh ride, huh?
Is this an invitation?
Oh, of course.
Your invitations are not always too clear, you know.
Huh? Oh, yes, well, about that. The last time I saw you, I'm sorry, Eve. I still don't know what I said, but if I said it, I apologize. There.
Well, there was no cause for offense and no need for apology, I assure you.
Oh, then what are we arguing about? Will you come sleigh riding?
Well, this is rather short notice.
We just got it up on the spur of the moment, Eve. Come on. The sleigh's out front there. We got a great bunch of fellows.
Do I know the gentleman?
Oh, don't worry. You won't be the only woman. Leela Ransom's coming, too.
Mrs. Ransom?
Hurry up, Gildy.
Yeah, tell the lady if she's got cold feet, we'll warm her up.
Great fellows. Come on, Eve. It'll be more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
Some other time, perhaps, when I'm more in the mood for monkeys.
Oh, but Eve.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's rather cold standing here, and I'm suffering from a slight headache. If you'll excuse me.
I did it again.
Come on, Gildy, it's getting late.
Oh, gosh, what am I going to tell the fellows?
Hurry up. Nellie's getting cold. When she gets cold, she sits down. When she sits down, you can't get her up.
I'm coming.
Where's your lady fair?
Yeah, where's the queen?
I had her all sold when you made the crack about warming her feet. Now it's off.
Oh, so it's my fault. Well, that's some people for you. They talk big, but when it comes time, they can't deliver.
It just so happens that the lady has a headache.
Yeah. Well, climb up, Casanova. I guess from here on, you better take over the horse and let me handle the women.
Drive on, Floyd. Move over, Peavy. I'll show you how to handle women. All right. Stop here, Floyd.
Whoa, Nellie.
Are we going to serenade her from here, Gildy?
No, let's get up close to the house so she can't miss it.
Don't worry. When we open up, nobody in the block will miss it.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, this whole serenade is a lot of nonsense.
Of course it is. But that's what women like. Those little attentions.
Where'd you hear that?
Never mind. Come on, fellas.
If you don't mind, I think I'll just stay here with Nellie.
Oh, you can't do that, Peavy. We won't have a quartet.
Well, if you're sure that's what's needed, I'll come.
Nellie'll stand. She don't need to be hitched.
Ah, nice, Nellie. Now remember, fellas, the idea is to sound good. I'll give the keynote, and then we'll start.
Well, I'm cold, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, sing and get warm, darn it.
Well, it's my feet that are cold. I don't sing with my feet.
Oh, quit squawking, Peavy. You'll sing for a minute, you'll have a nice girl to keep you warm.
Well, there is a tavern in the town,
Peavy. We'll all sing together, and we're going to sing Jingle Bells, not a tavern in the town.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve. Just loosening up my throat is all.
Let's quit arguing and get the darn serenade started.
That's what I say.
All right, here we go. Dashing through the snow
in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open
Well, that ought to do something.
That'll make the Queen of Sheba jump right out of her tent.
Look, Gildy. Door's opening.
Get going, Commissioner. Now's the time for the sweet talk.
Okay, fellas, I'll hand it. You boys go on back in the sleigh. Good evening, Leela. I trust you enjoyed our little serenade.
Is that what it was, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Leela, we were trying to please you.
And who is we, may I?
Well, Judge Hooker, Mr. Peavy, and Floyd Munson, and myself.
Floyd Munson. Is he the uncouth man that runs the barber shop?
Well, he's not particularly uncouth, Leela. Floyd's really all right. Anyhow, we just wanted you to go on a sleigh ride. That's why we sang Jingle Bells. Don't you see?
I see all too clearly.
Oh. We've got a sleigh with straw in the back, and the snow is wonderful. And there's a moon tonight, and we have a beautiful horse.
And 4 rowdies. Are there any other ladies in the party?
Well, the horse's name is Nellie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I will not be chaperoned by a horse.
I didn't mean that, Leela. I was just joking. Why do we need a chaperone anyway? We were engaged to be married once.
Well, we are not engaged at the present time.
Won't you just come for a little sleigh ride?
No, thank you.
We'll get a chaperone somewhere.
No, thank you. Kindly take your foot out of the door.
But, Leela...
Please remove your foot from the door, Mr. Gildersleeve. I have a guest waiting for me.
A guest? Great, all the better. Bring her along.
I'm sure Dr. Hargrave would decline.
Hargrave? Hargrave, I'll kill that fake doctor.
Well, how'd you make out, Gildy?
Didn't sound too good from here.
What are you hyenas laughing at?
You, the serenade was your idea.
Right, George, if I ever saw a man organize a sleigh ride party badly, I've seen you do it tonight.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that. We've got everything but the ladies.
What have we got?
Moonlight and sleigh and nice horse. And I've got this thermos full of hot coffee. Have some.
Well, thanks. It might help at that.
After you, Floyd.
Leave some for me, Horace.
Ooh, this is great, Peavy. Fine coffee.
Now, we're not so badly off, gentlemen. I'll tell you another thing we've got. I don't know any better company in this town than you three fellows.
I'll say the same for you, Peavy. What do we want women for, anyway? Half the trouble in the world comes from fooling with women.
I'd say more than half.
I'd say 90%.
Gentlemen, you're still low.
Peavy's right, fellas. Forget the women. Come on. Let's drive around the town and enjoy the snow. We'll sing, too. What do you say?
Time for it. Down with the women. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're off. There is a tavern in the town, and there...
Wait a minute, Peavy.
What's the matter? Let him sing.
Just a second. Do any of you fellows know the Bagley sisters live down on South Street?
No, you know them, Floyd?
Yeah, I know them, and they're as lively a bunch of girls as ever went on a sleigh ride.
Well, fellas, what are we waiting for?
Giddy up, Nellie!
There is a tavern in the town,
And there my true love sits him down.
Whoa, Nellie.
Yeah, good night, gentlemen. Thank you for a very pleasurable evening.
Good night, Peavy.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, my gracious.
What?
I've forgotten my house key. I'm afraid I'm going to have to arouse Mr. Peavy.
Uh-oh.
Well, I suppose if I must, I must.
Good luck. Hey, wait a minute, fellas. Let's listen to this.
It's me, dear. I forgot. Well, no, dear. I was... Well, I could explain if you would just... Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Let's go, Floyd. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to listen again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Our Hats Off department wants to hand a word of praise to you women who have found the knack of taking simple, everyday foods and making something pretty special out of them. That's an important knack to have these days, so here's a tip. You can add extra flavor to all kinds of food with golden, creamy smooth Kraft salad mustard. Your leftover meats and vegetables, for example. They'll hardly taste like leftovers at all when you add the tangy flavor of Kraft salad mustard and those cold cuts that take so few of your precious ration points. What lip-smacking flavor they'll have when you spread them with this delicious Kraft mustard. Why, you can serve Kraft salad mustard in dozens of tempting ways. Blend it into tasty appetizers, relishes, and sandwich fillings, or add it to cheese fondues and Welsh rabbits. Then, too, you'll want to try that other popular mustard with horseradish added, also made by Kraft. Try them both for variety. Kraft mustard with horseradish and Kraft salad mustard.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you the Kraft Music Hall every Thursday night and present Hal Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. Let's for a minute look in on a typical American family at breakfast time. Johnny rubs his sleepy eyes. Dad's kind of grumpy, thinking of that hard day's work ahead. But Mom knows how to make their eyes pop open. She's whipping up a batter for pancakes, and soon we'll flip them piping hot off the griddle. She knows, too, what it takes to make those golden brown griddle cakes taste extra good. It's Parquet margarine. And, of course, if you need syrup or honey, too. But with Parquet margarine for a spread, those pancakes are sure to hit the spot. Yes, this Kraft quality margarine really satisfies. As for energy, well, Parquet margarine is one of the best energy foods you can eat at every meal. What's more, every pound of Parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A.
So to start your day with a bang and end it with a smile, eat plenty of delicious, nourishing Parquet. Tomorrow, buy Parquet. Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now let's join Arthur now. He's had a political bee BuzzFeed study and listen in on some of the political scene with Judge Hooker.
Now, I have analyzed the situation, reached a conclusion.
Oh, what is it?
You might have a chance to become mayor of this town.
I told you that an hour ago, Judge, a week ago.
Well, I know you did, but
a few days ago you were laughing at Gildersleeve for mayor. Now it looks like you were trying to climb on the bandwagon.
Bandwagon. I was considering in the line your campaign manager. But you've already botched things up so completely.
How have I botched things?
Well, in the first place, you've blabbed all over town that you're going to run for mayor.
I have not. I haven't even told Leroy and Marjorie.
Oh, I've heard it from 10 people.
Somebody else talked, not me then. I didn't tell anyone but Floyd the barber.
You tell Floyd, you don't have to tell anyone else. Politics is a deep game, Gildy. It's full of pitfalls.
Yeah. Maybe I do need help.
Well, if you take my advice, I can help you. Now, the first thing is to develop some contacts.
Well, I know a lot of people.
Well, the point is to know the right people. Now, there's one contact I think I can arrange for you this evening.
Oh, what's that?
Congressman Abernathy is going to be in town for a few hours.
Abernathy's nothing but a windbag.
No, but if we'd get him to support you, it'd be a great help.
Oh, all right.
Well, you keep the evening open. I'll go down and see if I can get a hold of Abernathy.
All right, Horace. My fate is in your hands.
All right. Don't worry, Gildy. I'll call you later.
Hi, Judge.
Hello, Leroy.
Well, goodbye, Horace. V for victory.
Goodbye, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Say, Unc.
Yes, Leroy?
What did the judge mean when he called you Your Honor?
Oh, that was just a little joke between the judge and me.
Some joke.
Well, I wasn't going to tell anyone, but I suppose you're bound to find out sooner or later. Can you keep a secret, my boy?
Sure.
Where's Marjorie? Marjorie, come here a minute.
Oh, right away. I just have one more nail to do.
Remember now, this is strictly confidential, Leroy. I don't want you to tell a soul.
I can duck some other time, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, you needn't go. This concerns you too, Bertie. It concerns everyone.
Don't touch me, anybody. Polish isn't dry yet.
Marjorie, must you wear red fingernails?
Oh, now, Unky, darling.
You look as if you just killed an ox with your bare hands.
Don't be old-fashioned. Everybody wears red
Shut up. Unc's got something to tell us.
Oh, what?
Well, as I told Leroy, this is a secret, my dear. I don't want a word of it to get out until we're ready to announce it.
Uncle Mort, you're not engaged again. You're not going to get married.
Unc.
No, I'm not going to get married. I'm not even engaged, exactly.
Gosh, you have me worried there. I thought sure this time it was old lady Goodwin.
Leroy. Just because she happens to be principal of your school doesn't mean that she's old.
Sorry, Unc.
She's not even as old as I am. As a matter of fact, she's 3 years younger, which is just about right. The woman should be younger.
I thought you said you weren't going to.
I did, Marjorie. What I wanted to tell you is something entirely different.
Okay, shoot.
My boy, how would you like to wake up someday and find yourself the nephew of the mayor?
I'd rather be your nephew.
Well, how would you like to be both?
Huh? Uncle Mort. You don't mean that.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Gildersleeve, man.
Well, I'm going to try, Bertie. That is, I'm not going to seek the office, of course, but if the office should seek me...
Oh, how wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
Uncle Mort, I'm so proud.
Well, there seems to be a demand. If I can serve the community in my humble way...
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I want to be the first to congratulate you.
Well, thank you, Bertie.
I'm going to have to get me a new uniform with a cap with lace all on it. So I won't shame the man when I open the door.
And I might have to get a few new dresses.
Now, my dear, let's not count our eggs until we lay them.
Another thing, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, we're going to have to need one of them little silver trays for folks to put their cards on when you're too busy to see them.
Oh, no. That's one thing I'll never do, Bertie. If elected, I shall see that the mayor's door stands open to the public at all times. And furthermore, if elected, I propose to see that everyone gets a fair hearing, regardless of race, creed. Leroy, why do you stare at me like that?
I'm trying to imagine you as mayor.
Well?
Do make a pip.
Yes. Now remember, everybody, not one word of this to anyone.
Why?
Well, I don't want anybody to know that I'm running for mayor.
How are you going to get elected that way?
Leave it to me. The judge and I don't want to open the campaign till we've got it all laid out, Leroy. That's going to take time. It's also going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to work on this thing day and night. Well, might as well get at it. But it's going to mean giving up my social life entirely. Now what?
It's your social life. Hi, Mrs. Ransom. Come in.
Leela.
Is your uncle? Oh, hello, Throckmorton.
Oh, hello, Leela.
Bertie, Marjorie. Morning, Miss Ransom. Oh, I'm afraid I've come to borrow something again, Bertie. Can you bear it?
Well, I guess.
Of course. What's the use of having a pretty neighbor if she doesn't run in to borrow things now and then?
Oh, you. I have some news for you, Throckmorton.
I have some news for you, too, Eve. I mean, Leela.
Well, caught you that time.
What can I get you, Miss Ransom?
Bertie, I wonder if you could let me have 6 eggs. They're for a cake I'm making.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
The only thing is, maybe you could tell me. Do you know anything about baking cakes, Bertie?
Can she bake a cake?
She's just the best cake baker there is, that's all.
I'll just bet she is. I'll bet she bakes cakes so light and fluffy they just melt in your mouth, don't you, Bertie?
Well, when I'm lucky. That's about 9 times out of 10.
I have the worst luck with cakes. I don't know what's the matter. And I did so want to have a nice cake for tonight because I'm having a little party. I want you to come, of course, Throckmorton. Bertie, maybe you could tell me how to bake it.
Oh, shucks. I'll bake you a cake, Miss Ransom. That'd be easier than telling you.
Oh, I couldn't let you do that, Bertie. Here's the recipe. I brought it with me.
Who needs recipes?
Yes, Bertie cooks by ear.
I declare, I'm just going to steal Bertie away from you one of these days, Throckmorton.
Over my dead body.
Mine, too. What kind of cake you want, Miss Ransom?
Well, it's for a birthday party, Bertie.
Birthday? Whose birthday?
Guess.
Whose?
Mine.
How old are you?
Leroy.
That is a question a gentleman never asks a lady, Leroy.
Well, how old is she?
Leroy.
I'm almost old enough to be your mother.
Are you kidding?
Run along and play, Leroy. You too, Marjorie.
What did I do? I asked her how old she was. People ask me how old I am. I don't get sore.
You come along with me, Leroy.
You said you had some news for me, Leela.
Yes. Guess what? Arthur's by.
Arthur?
Dr. Hargrave, silly.
Oh, him.
That's why I particularly want you to come tonight. I think you and Arthur ought to get to know each other better.
Great. But you see, I have a sort of a tentative engagement tonight to meet with Judge Hooker and Congressman Abernathy.
Well, of course, if you came off for some old Abernathy, then you do for your friend.
But you don't understand, Leela. This is important.
Miss Goodwin's going to be awfully disappointed.
Eve? Is she coming?
Yes. I've already gone and invited her because I never dreamed that you would...
I'll be there.
Well, you're sure you can explain to Congressman Abernathy?
Oh, Hooker can explain to Abernathy.
I'll be expecting you then. Oh, Throckmorton.
Yes, Leela?
Just because it's my birthday, I don't want you to think you have to give me a present or anything, you hear?
Oh? Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Peavy. I want to buy some perfume.
Perfume? Is it for yourself or for a friend?
For a friend, naturally. A lady. But it ought to be something pretty good.
Something imported, I take it.
Well, I don't care. Just so it smells good.
Oh, they all have a pleasing odor, but the object is to suit the lady's personality, so they tell me. Mm-hmm. Now, if you'll just step over here.
Yeah. They all look expensive.
Mr. Gildersleeve, let's not think about price just yet.
Huh?
Now, here's an item put out by a very reliable house. It's been quite a steady seller.
Madness of love. Disgusting.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. You have to look at these things through a woman's eyes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
How do I do that?
Well, perhaps the description on the circular would help a little. I'll get my glasses on here. Ecstasy in the moonlight. The magic of a wicked glance. The skip of a heartbeat as the one you love draws near. All these distilled into one fragrant essence. That ought to be quite an odor.
Yes. Let me smell it.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't do that. You see, these bottles are sealed, and if I open them up, the stuff evaporates.
You mean I have to buy a perfume without knowing what it smells like? That's buying a pig in a poke.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Most of these are nationally advertised brands. They're all perfectly safe.
I'm not looking for a safe perfume, Peavy. I want something this lady will like.
Well, perhaps if I had some idea of her personality.
She's a woman. A very attractive woman.
Well, would you say she was the school superintendent type?
No.
Ah, more the Southern widow type.
Peavy, you're trying to pin me down. I'm just stuck for a present, that's all. Let's see some of the other brands. I'll bet the bottles cost more than the stuff.
You'd be surprised what the stuff costs.
Huh?
$20 an ounce sometimes.
$20 an ounce? Why, that's $300 a pound.
That's right.
I'm only going for supper. Let me see some of the others. Black Magic, Spring Song, Paris at Midnight.
And here's Mrs. Peavy's favorite.
Huh? My Sin. Peavy, she ought to be ashamed of herself.
Well, I venture to suggest that when she bought it, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I live to regret it. She's had that one bottle for 7 years, and it's brought her a lot of innocent pleasure.
Well, the whole thing's a gamble. What's that little teensy bottle down there at the end, Peavy?
Just a second. Oh, this is a very good item.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're just... Oh, parlez-moi d'amour. That'll tickle her.
That strike a chord, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I used to sing that song to this particular lady, Peavy. Of course, that's all over now. Wrap it up.
Yes, sir. The box comes with it. I'll have it for you in just a jiffy.
Oh, she'll love this.
I feel quite sure the lady will be very pleased with your selection, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, what makes you think so?
This one costs $30 an ounce.
Oh!
Kraft will return you to the great Gildersleeve in just a few seconds. There's more truth than poetry in the saying the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You'll agree that there's no other sure way of finding out how really good a food tastes. And it's by this very test that Parquet margarine has become so popular in millions of homes. People have heard about it, they try it, and they just naturally like Parquet. You'll like Parquet in a big way, too, because this Kraft quality margarine has a fine, delicate flavor. Really delicious, spread on bread, hot toast, or rolls. And you like the extra energy it helps provide your hard-working family, because Parquet margarine is actually one of the best energy foods they can eat. And you like Parquet for still another reason, and a mighty important one. For you see, to every pound of Parquet margarine, Kraft adds 9,000 units of vitamin A. So, for delicious flavor, for extra energy, and for a dependable source of vitamin A, buy and serve Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine. It's the margarine that's made by Kraft. Now let's hurry back to the great Gildersleeve, whom we find marching up the Widow Ransom's front walk bearing a magnificent birthday cake. As he reaches her door, he pokes the doorbell with a pudgy forefinger while he balances the cake cautiously on one hand.
Oh, careful. Oh, hello, Leela.
Throckmorton, what a gorgeous cake.
For you.
Oh, be sure and thank Bertie for me, will you? Come in.
Oh, am I the first to arrive?
Oh, no, Arthur's been here for hours.
Yeah, I might have known.
I've got him out in the kitchen helping me. Just throw your things down anyway.
Leela, wait a minute.
Yes?
I brought you something else. Here, present.
Oh, Throckmorton, you shouldn't have done it. Oh, now, what can it be? I just get so excited when... Perfume!
Uh-huh.
Oh, parlez-moi d'amour, my favorite.
Yeah?
Oh. You naughty boy, taking advantage of a poor girl's weakness that way.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I can't resist perfume.
Neither can I.
I'm going to put some on right now. Here, you hold the cake.
All right. Don't forget behind the ears.
I'm all over the ears, silly.
That's what I mean.
Throckmorton!
I was just going to smell.
I thought you were forgetting yourself. Remember, I'm promised to offer.
Promised? You mean...
Well, not promised exactly, but we have an understanding.
Well, that's the way it is with me and Eve.
Let's join Arthur in the kitchen, shall we?
All right.
I hope you don't mind it's being so informal and all. As you see, I'm just wearing a little house dress and an apron.
Oh, it's cute. Ruffle.
right through here. Well, I guess you know the way.
Yeah, I ought to.
Oh, Throckmorton, would you do me a favor?
Sure. What?
Don't tell Arthur I didn't bake the cake. He likes to think I'm domestic.
Sucker.
Arthur, darling, you know Throckmorton Gildersleeve.
Oh, of course. How are you, Gildersleeve?
Oh, glad to see you, Doctor. Got you working, eh?
Yes, she's got me wound right around her little finger. Haven't you, Dee Dee? Dee Dee?
Arthur calls me Dee Dee, and I call him Pooh Bear.
Oh.
Now, look, Dee Dee. I've chopped this whole great big bowl of parsley. Don't I deserve a kiss for a reward?
Well, just one teensy-weensy one.
Sickening.
Oh, gracious. This isn't getting dinner cooked. Here, I need this jar of mayonnaise open. Too strong.
I am.
Let me.
I got it, Doc.
It's awfully hard to unscrew.
It's nothing. I'll just...
Don't strain yourself.
Yeah.
Here, let a man do it.
Let go, Doc. I'll... Darn thing. I'll... I can't seem to get hold of it.
Here, let me.
Let Arthur try, Throckmorton.
Well, go ahead, Doc. It can't be done.
We'll just see about that.
Arthur, you're wonderful. I declare you're so strong.
Nothing but a trick of the wrist.
For that, you get another kiss.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, front door.
Oh, it must be Eve.
I'll go.
No, let me go.
We'll all go. Arthur, you've met Miss Goodwin, haven't you?
Oh, I don't believe I've ever had the pleasure.
Oh, she's so attractive for a school teacher. Oh, gracious. Here I am still wearing this apron. I do hope your friend won't mind things being so informal and all, Throckmorton.
Oh, not Eve. Hello, Eve.
Good evening, Throckmorton.
Come in.
Mrs. Ransom, you were so nice to invite me.
I'm so glad you could come, Miss Goodwin.
You girls are going to be seeing a lot of each other. Got to learn to use first names. Eve, meet Leela.
I love your dress. Is it new?
Oh, yes, that's quite a thing there, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm afraid I forgot to explain, Miss Goodwin. We're being very informal here this evening, just a sort of pick-up supper.
Oh, I'm sorry if I misunderstood.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just run up and change my frock.
Oh, please don't. It's all my fault. I'm the one who should feel out of place.
Not at all, if I may say so.
Oh.
Isn't anyone going to introduce us?
Of course, Miss Goodwin. This is Dr. Hargrave.
How do you do, Doctor?
How do you do? How do you do?
I think I will run up and change my dress if nobody minds.
That was really a delicious dinner, Dee Dee.
Wasn't it? Leela, I'd give anything for your talent as a housekeeper.
Can't you cook, Eve?
Oh, she's just being modest. Anyone who's lived alone so long must be able to cook.
Yes. Why don't we have a little music?
Oh, yes. It's always so soothing after dinner.
Yeah, good for the digestion, too.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you play, Leela, and I'll sing?
Well, if that's what everyone would like.
Do you sing, Miss Goodwin?
No, I don't, Doctor. I play a little.
Eve plays mostly classical, not so good for the digestion.
Speaking medically, I disagree with that, Gildersleeve.
Well, of course, I like the classics.
Oh, so do I. Eve, it's a shame you didn't bring your music.
You haven't any, of course.
Just a few popular things is all. I'm just a silly girl who likes to play for people's enjoyment.
So do I. If there are people to enjoy it.
Miss Goodwin, I'm crazy about Bach.
Oh, I believe there's an album of Bach on the piano bench. It came with the piano.
Here it is. Oh, the preludes, they're lovely.
Will you play some, please? I'll turn the pages for you.
Eve, don't you think it's too soon after dinner for Bach?
I don't think it's ever too soon for Bach.
Well, I still say it's too soon.
What's the name of this piece, Throckmorton? Do you know?
No, I don't. Do you?
No.
Probably another piece by Bach.
I think he wrote the whole album.
Eve looks well at the piano, doesn't she, Leela? Graceful, I mean. Her arms.
And how well she knows it. Look at Arthur. He has such an air about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, so has a skunk.
Throckmorton, that is no way to talk about Arthur.
Well, does he have to lean over like that? Does he have to keep his hands on her shoulder?
Does she have to wear bare shoulders? She might at least wear a scarf. Just the same, I think I'll have a word with Arthur.
After this is over, let's you and I show him, Leela. You play and I'll sing.
I'm just a little bit put out with Arthur.
Yeah, I guess he knows it. He's trying to catch your eye, Leela. He's trying to attract your attention.
I know. I'm pretending I don't see it.
He wants me to poke you.
I am not speaking to Arthur at the present moment.
Yeah, serves him right. That's the end, Leela. Quick. Bravo!
Thank you, Doctor.
Encore.
Oh, I really think I've played enough.
Come on, Leela. Now's our chance. Well, that was wonderful, Eve.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Throckmorton.
Now, you take a little rest, and Leela and I will entertain. What do we have first, Leela?
Well, anything you'd like to sing, Throckmorton. Of course, I'm not a trained musician like Eve. I'm afraid I spend all my time as a girl just going to parties and fooling around with my cousins.
Well, you play fine, Leela. Here, sit down.
Oh, thank you, Throckmorton.
You know, there's a new song that's kind of catchy. I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Hargrave, I understand you've been in Washington.
Yes, I was there for a week.
Oh, I'd love to hear about it.
Eve, I'm going to sing. Leela's going to play.
Oh, I'd much rather hear about Arthur's trip to Washington. Did you go to many parties?
Well, it was mostly medical business, I'm afraid, but we did hear some pretty important things. Inside government stuff.
But, Leela, aren't we going to sing?
Did you meet any real live senators, Arthur?
Oh, several. I sat at a table next to a real live ambassador.
At your table?
No, he was at the next table.
Yes, that's nothing. Washington is full of ambassadors. And speaking of real
Where
live...
did you stay, Doctor?
With some friends. I was lucky when I
Speaking of real live senators, I'm going to be a candidate
Oh, Throckmorton, you're just talking about little old local politics. Let's hear Arthur tell about the ambassadors now.
Oh, well, let's get comfortable first. Come on, ladies. We can all sit here on the sofa.
What about me?
You can sit on my lap.
Oh, Pooh Bear, you're awful.
Well, I'll tell you about the most interesting session we had. It was with the Army medical people. They
Oh,
said
my
that
goodness, who can that be? Excuse me. Hello? Oh, yes, you. Well, just a minute, please. It's for you, Arthur.
Well, what the dickens? I thought I had all my patients under control. Hello? Yes? Yes? Well, keep cool. I'll be right over. I'm awfully sorry, ladies, but when a baby comes, the doctor has to go.
Oh, Arthur, it's probably a false alarm.
Well, I don't think so. Thanks for a lovely dinner, Dee Dee.
Well, I don't see why you have to rush off like
Now,
this.
Leela, the doctor knows best. A doctor takes an oath, you know.
Yeah, that's right, Gildersleeve. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh, Bear, aren't you going to kiss Dee Dee?
Oh, sorry, I have to go, dear.
Good night.
Well, good night, Doc. Not a bad fella.
Honestly, sometimes I can't understand Arthur.
Oh, let's forget Arthur. Come and sit down here with me and Eve, Leela.
All right. Good old Throckmorton.
Yes, good old Throckmorton.
Well, now, girls, this is what I call cozy. You comfortable, Eve?
Oh, yes.
Leela?
You going to tell us about your campaign now, Throckmorton?
Oh, who cares about the campaign? Let's play post office.
Throckmorton, you're awful. Isn't he awful, Eve?
He's a bad boy.
I'll say I am. Come on, girls, post office.
How can you play post office with just one man?
I'll show you how. Now, what's that, for heaven's sake?
Oh, it couldn't be Arthur. Judge, come in. Now we've got a foursome.
I can't stay, Leela. Gildersleeve here?
No, I'm not here, you old goat.
Come on, Gildy. Abernathy's at his hotel. Now's the time to see him.
I can't go now, Judge.
Throckmorton, it's probably very important for you to see Congressman Abernathy.
You're darn right it is.
Oh, Judge, you can't do this to my party.
Don't worry, Leela, I'm not going.
Listen, Gildersleeve, I worked all day for this. Either you come down to Abernathy's with me, or you can get yourself another campaign manager.
I'll get myself...
Throckmorton.
Huh? Oh. All right, I'll go. If there was another campaign manager in town, I wouldn't. Hooker, how long are we going to sit here? We've been waiting for 2 hours.
Keep your shirt on, Gildy.
Are you sure Congressman Abernathy hasn't gone?
We can't possibly miss him. He's got to pass through here on his way to the train.
Get me out of a nice party to come down here.
Here he comes now.
Huh?
Oh, Mr. Abernathy, this is my friend, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, Mr. Abernathy, this is quite a...
Hello. Got to catch a train.
Hooker, is that what you got me down here for?
Well, Gildy, that's not the way to look at it. You've made a nice contact. I think the picture looks very, very favorable.
The picture looks favorable. What picture? All he said to me was hello.
I know, but I like the way he said it.
Oh! For goodness sake, a fine campaign manager. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was directed by Claude Sweet. And this is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Kraft invites you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Here are the 3 best bets of the week at your favorite food store. Number 1, buy more pork. It's America's most plentiful meat. Number 2, buy more of those fresh green vegetables, now lower priced and available in larger quantities. Number 3, buy Kraft salad mustard to give both pork and green vegetables extra flavor zest. This tangy golden salad mustard, prepared to Kraft's own special recipe, adds lip-smacking flavor to baked ham, to sausage meat, to any fresh pork meat cut that calls for prepared mustard. And as for those fresh vegetables, we'd suggest serving them as a tossed green salad with Kraft mustard added to your French dressing for taste-tingling extra flavor. Get delicious, appetizing Kraft salad mustard from your dealer tomorrow. And for the members of your family who prefer a somewhat nippier flavor, buy that other Kraft mustard with horseradish added. Remember, Kraft makes them both. Kraft horseradish mustard and tangy, golden Kraft salad mustard. This is the National Broadcasting Company.